So thank y'all for having me here today. So I know we had this huge launch of the Terrapure, and it's like, what the hell is this freaking thing that I'm getting like 100 calls for? We didn't think it would blow up that fast. So finally, before round 2 begins and we start selling it again, I want to tell you a little bit about it. So I actually have one in the box right here for you all to see. Actually, this is how the customer receives it too. So I want to show you this. So on this box is a free recorded message, so this is the first thing they see, and they get to hear Doug Hill whisper sweet nothings into their ears. Actually, it's more about, congratulations, thank you for ordering this, and, make sure to follow the instructions inside before you start bothering our lovely customer service folks. So, after they ignore that call, or ignore that number, they open it up, and this is what they're going to find. First, I'll get to this in a second. But ready? Ready. Here it is.
It's like a robot. Wow.
Yeah, it is a robot. No, it's not a robot. So, let me tell you a little bit about this. It sits on your countertop, so it plugs right into your sink. So this is the actual unit. Let's say there's like a sink here-ish. So if your sink has a nozzle, this sucker will hopefully screw right onto the nozzle of your sink. Most standard sinks, you can actually unscrew the nozzle and attach something else onto it, unless it's like one of those fancy sinks where it's like a Swan or something like that, or a shower head type deal. But in the promo, we make sure to tell people, it's like, if you got like a shower head sink, this isn't going to work for you. So this is where the adapters come in. So even if it's a standard sink, some of them are a little bit different. There might be, the little, what are those things called? The screwing type things? I'm blanking on that. But you know how there's like threading. There's threading on the outside, or there's threading on the inside. So you got 2 little handy adapters just in case it's a different size. Oftentimes you don't even need them. I didn't need them when I installed this thing. So all you have to do is, screw this bad boy onto it. And if you know what you're doing, it just takes like 2 minutes. And then you just turn it on. And regular water can just flow through this if all you want to do is use regular water in your sink. So it actually acts as just like an extension of the sink nozzle. If you want the special Terrapure water, all you have to do is flow water through this while you tug on this little knob. And then all you have to do is just start the water, tug the knob, and then it should stay open. Now I remember we had one customer email, yeah, that was probably just their sink, their water flow just sucked. It's like they just, keep it open. So, that's the first time I've heard that, so chances are you won't run into that. Usually you just pull on it and the water flow keeps it open. So water flows through here, and it flows into this, and this thing starts filling up. And I'll show you what goes on inside in a minute. And then it goes through our special filter, and then it comes out the spout, and hopefully the customer will aim the spout where he wants the water to go. It can go into your sink, or into a glass. When it is first installed and you let the water flow through it for the first time, some like carbon black dung will come out for like a couple minutes. Maybe you heard about that. And it's in the instruction manual too that this will happen, but that's the thing they set aside and you didn't read it. All you have to do is just let the water flow for a couple minutes, and then after it clears up, you turn it off, and then you turn it back on again, and you let it flow again, and it should be fine. And you can take a glass and you can start drinking it. And if there's still a little bit, you just let the water flow for a little more. So yeah, it's pretty simple. Yeah, just I want to drink it now. Yeah. So anyway, there's a couple things that might happen, and if anyone's ever complained about leaks, if someone complains about a leak, there's like an 80% chance it's coming from here. So it's the base of the unit. This whole thing can actually unscrew, and it unscrews right here. So I'll show you. So you can see this area right here is where there's going to be a leak. But the good news is, it's sort of an easy fix. So, let me see if I can get this out. Inside is sort of a rubber washer type thing, and sometimes these can show up with the rubber washer a little bit out of place. So there's actually a little ridge on the inside where it's supposed to go. In fact, yeah, do you want to hand that around? So you can see the little rubber washer is placed correctly. So when it's placed incorrectly, you can't tighten it fully. But when it's placed correctly, you know, you can tighten it all the way. So if a customer has a problem with it leaking near the bottom, just ask them to unscrew it and make sure the rubber, you know, washer is placed correctly in there. And chances are they'll be like, oh yeah, you're right, it's a little loose, let me put it in there. And then it should be fine. So, by the way, this is the actual thingy. So this is the actual filter for the Turapure, and it's got a few stages. So this stage right here, by the way, it's this end up. So the fancy little stones, you'll see little red stones are on the bottom. This is a carbon filter, which is standard for most filters, and it gets you know, the bad taste and odors out of the water. And this, combined with another layer called KDF media, reduces chloramine, chlorine, and it just basically makes tap water actually not taste like junk, so which is pretty darn cool. So this is the second stage of the Turapure unit. Now this is what makes it special. So 6 years ago, I was first introduced to this water. I had no idea what it was. I was just like, I was at a marketing seminar, this guy's like handing out water. He's like, here, try this stuff out. I was like, all right, fine. So I started drinking it, and I felt really good. I just felt like energized, like hydrated, but like even more so. So I asked him about this. I'm like, what the hell's the deal with this water? So it turns out this kind of, you know, device filters water in a way where it's kind of like how water's supposed to be. We're not supposed to be drinking water after it's gone through like several miles of pipes and it's, you know, filtered through a chemical bath of God knows what, and then sitting in a bottle for 2 years. You know, traditionally, you know, people would, you know, drink water out of like a mountain spring after it's been flowing through rock. So this mimics that. It flows the water through certain minerals, primarily magnesium. There's also a couple layers called tourmaline and infrared ceramics, but mostly in the promo I talk about magnesium. So the cool thing about magnesium is, and this is as technical as I can get before my head starts to explode, is the magnesium attracts some of the oxygen out of the water. So you ever heard water is H2O? O is the oxygen. That's what, yeah, don't worry about it. If the customer asks about this, just be like, just forward it to Nate or something, you know. So just drink the water. So it works by freeing up some of the hydrogen. Now, hydrogen, you don't have to worry about this. The important part is it acts like an antioxidant in your body. So, have you ever bitten into an apple and then you like set it aside for a minute and then you pick up the apple again and the inner juice is it gets all gunky and it's all brownish and it's like, what the hell happened to my apple in the past 5 minutes? It tastes okay, but it's a little weird. I don't know if you've ever seen that or experienced that. I'll get to another example if you just despise apples. That's a process called oxidation, and that is literally the process of the oxygen in the air ripping electrons out of the apple, and that causes it to get all mushy. Bad news. That process is happening in your body right now, 24/7. That's called oxidation. Yeah, it sucks. It sucks horribly. Good news. That's why everyone keeps yapping about eating fruits and veggies. They contain antioxidants. So now you know, oh, antioxidants are healthy? That's why. Antioxidants actually, instead of, you know, electrons getting ripped out of your body, antioxidants donate their own electrons, so they're like a bodyguard jumping in front of you. So like they fuse together with the oxidative, you know, the oxygen tries to oxidize you, so you end up fine. So eat your fruits and veggies, or buy this and drink this water because it's a powerful antioxidant. So the benefits include more energy and better looking skin. So that's what you could tell our audience. It's like, oh yeah, the water is a powerful antioxidant and it might give you more energy and it might give you better looking skin. Definitely, you know, 2 things our audience is passionate about. So that's what this filter does. What the hell else am I supposed to talk about? Any questions so far? I've got like the blue tower frequently asked questions, but that was basically what I wanted to tell you guys. Filter lasts 500 gallons for normal household use. That's like 6 months. That's why we have the 6-month auto ship. But if anyone asks how long does it last, 500 gallons for 6 months. How big is it? That big.
When they get the filter replacement, is it just that like black thing? Or is it the whole thing?
It's,
the whole
it's just this.
Oh.
So, and replacing it, I kind of already showed how it happened because I opened this up to show you guys. So you just unscrew this, you get rid of this nasty old one, and then boom.
Can you tell by just eye test if like if the filter is like worn out?
Yeah, like how do you know it's time to replace it?
That's a great question. That can get tricky because there's not like an indicator on it, and actually, as you can see, I brought in one that is a little bit old, so you can see it starts to get a little gray and crappy. The new filters look a lot better than this. I wish I had a newer one for comparison, but you can kind of see how it's kind of washed out and gray.
Yeah.
That's actually after use.
Okay.
So really the easiest way for someone to tell if they're not on our priority pass. If they're on our priority pass program, the answer is when you get a new filter. That's easy enough for them.
Yeah.
If they're not, honestly, it's when they start to notice that their water starts to taste a little bit like tap water.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, oh, it used to taste really good, now it just tastes a little bit like tap water. It's like, there you go. The filter's starting to weaken, so get a new one. And 6 months is a good
6 months.
yeah. And when they do, like I was saying, you just stick the new one in here, like this. So carbon, the black coloring up, and these stones on the bottom. Because actually, this filter is pretty cool. What happens is, when the sink water flows through it, get rid of this. It starts to fill up, so this thing will be on it. So it starts to fill up all the way. And then, when the water reaches the top, it enters the filter through the top. And gravity actually helps it go down through the filter. And then, at the bottom, it enters through this hole. And it comes out the spout for you to drink. So it's kind of, you never see it happen, but that's why it's important that it flows this way. If it's this way, it'll kill you. No.
Do we ask for the other filter back to like recycle it or anything, or do we encourage the customer to recycle it?
Or do you just toss
Do
it?
you just throw it away, or
Well, we don't accept it.
Okay.
As far as what they do with it,
it's just up to them?
well, yeah, we just up to them, I guess. They probably just have to throw it out. I don't think this whole thing. Yeah, I was gonna say I don't think you can. There's
Just
too
bury it like nuclear waste.
Is the water okay for pets? I know you mentioned like cooking and stuff, but like.
That's a great
They'll
question.
be able to speak English.
That's like a bad thing. So it absolutely is okay for pets, and not only that, I really want to send out an email when we start selling these again. You can encourage your customers to do that. Is take a bowl of their regular water and then fill another bowl of this water and let the pet choose, and just prepare to be amazed. Your dog will give a crap about the other water after this stuff. They only want the best. So yeah, great question.
Okay.
I keep on reminding myself.
Just kidding.
Go to the toilet with this water.
I was gonna say, what are the benefits of that?
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah, it goes it can move like this, and it also unscrews. It comes attached, and which way? I don't want to break this thing. But for some reason, you can unscrew it. I guess for traveling, if you want to take it with you.
Yeah.
You can laugh. I've done this. I went to a hotel and it's just like, I have a medical problem and I need to install the sink. Can you sense it? I literally said that, and they sent up this guy and they unscrewed the sink. Yeah, that's right.
I mean, I say something.
Yeah, or it's just psychosis. What's up?
Are we gonna get one in our kitchen?
We totally are going to get one in our kitchen. Actually, this would be a good time to mention I do have some sample water out there in the kitchen if anyone wants to try it out. Because we also got pictures.
Yeah, should we go into the pictures a little bit?
I wanted to save it for a separate meeting, but we can preview.
Yeah, just to show you guys.
Teaser.
Do you know if you're looking into having it filter out fluoride? A lot of the customers have been asking about that. I know it's not a thing now.
It's good for your teeth, though, right?
It's not that crazy.
Yeah.
It's a good
So the
question.
reason the government added it to us.